Hmm. Maybe I should open that just in. Uh. Now let's see, what else should I? And I think that's it. Maybe, probably. That and see if that's enough. I guess I did. Well, I know there's something that I didn't. Crap. I did not. Let me see if I can still do it on another character. Okay, these can be put in team storage, so it might be account locked. It's fun. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go put that in storage and switch character. Ugh. Yo, AM6, how's it going? Not bad. Thanks for asking. Well, I mean, this character is the one I made specifically so I can make a guild for my friends, but, one of the major changes that they made to the game was, anyone can make a guild now. I think you just need to have enough money, but it's not class locked anymore. Like, 228 was, I think, the minimum I could have for being able to make the guild. I think I only got to 228 specifically because I needed the money for it. And as soon as I had the money, I made the guild and never really used this character again. But, I rebuilt it, so, it has nothing to do with Templar anymore. One of the nice things that they did, though, I guess you'd call it the biggest change, is you can be anything. After your first class, you can be any of the other classes in that tree, except for hidden classes, which you can only get after the first upgrade, which is really nice. Basically, they changed the main draw of the game to being just finding a build that you really like, as opposed to just having a lot of classes. And if you're talking about giving up around the 170s, well, since I'm done fishing on this character, let me see what I got, then I'll show some other stuff. Wait, how do I still have some? Interesting. Different. I'm not sure if I understand what you mean. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, none of that ridiculous stuff anymore. You can just be whatever you want, basically. Oh wait, it's in my record box, isn't it? But yeah, just for example, also, I should also point out that, they added a new 5th class. which I will show you in a second. So they added a scout class line, and this one I made just like a couple days ago, and like in no time at all I got to 234. It might just be because of some kind of promotional event going on now, but it took like no time at all to get to 234. I mean, to be fair, I had some experience cards from higher level characters that I got from getting 100% on maps and things like that. But even without those, it wouldn't have taken super long. And it's even higher than my swordsman, which is pretty ridiculous. Oh, that's a nice thing you're doing there, BM. I hope you enjoy your dinner. I mean, it's not that I needed. I mean, I'm not saying you're doing it because I needed it. I mean, I appreciate the encouragement, but it wasn't a necessary thing. Like, I wasn't feeling discouraged from streaming. I just, I guess, I mean, I don't want to get super personal, but it's not a big deal or anything. It's a few things. I felt too tired from work. I found it difficult to justify streaming when I wanted to do other stuff. Or rather, I needed to do other stuff. I was busy watching other people stream. I don't have, unlike you, I have zero issues with encouragement or discouragement. I will take everything objectively, as is my utilitarian nature, and decide whether or not the kindness will be beneficial to my progress or not. What am I doing on this character? Yeah, okay. Get out of here and eat your dinner. What was I going to do? I think what I really wanted to do was to level up my swordsman and unlock Dragoon, and then maybe come back to this one and unlock, what am I going to... Oh, right, that was going to be Squire, wasn't it? So I could, do repairs. But yeah, if you are interested in the new class, Scout, this is what it has to offer. They basically took a lot of classes from the other trees to make this new one, and added a few ones. Like, I'm pretty sure Outlaw is new. Well, yeah, Outlaw and Assassin. Yeah, it's an interesting change. It's difficult to explain. Yeah, I mean, what I really like that you don't have to get to a specific level to get a class, but to offset that, let me see if I can open skills. To offset that, what's a good example? Like here, Thaumaturge used to be, one of the later classes that you unlock, and you can tell because you have to be level 300 to unlock this ability. You can still use the class just fine, but certain abilities will be level locked. So I guess it's maybe to partially incentivize people to get this class later, maybe? in some way. But at the very least, the full potential of the class is limited by your own level, but you can get whatever class that you want, which is nice. And oh, right, I should have looked and brought that up with a bit more detail. Change class tree. Once you reach any of these tiers, which is, I believe is in increments of 1,000, you can change any one of these three classes to any of the other ones. The game's like really trying to encourage people to experiment with different classes and find out what they like, find out what's broken in a good way, etc. And you can do really grindy activities to get enough points to change your class, but that kind of makes sense because my character is pretty broke. I just have a crap load of buffs and I get some more buffs from shops and then I can just mow things down pretty easily. I guess I could give a little example if I could remember where I was grinding it. Should have brought my pet. I know every single class you're talking about because I've spent a lot of time trying to figure out what kind of wizard build I want to use. I still haven't actually made a wizard class yet, ever, but I have an idea of what I want to do. But yeah, that whole thing of putting the minimum into stuff or just trying to find the least painful class to use before the class you actually want was kind of ridiculous. But I mean, on the other hand, I don't really blame them, because they had to find some way to regulate the, regulate the what? I can't really say the difficulty of the game, because it clearly didn't change too much if they were able to do it so easily. I guess it seemed like a good idea at the time. Leave it at that. Oops. I should refresh those. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I do remember anvils being a pretty big deal. I'm not sure if that was rebalanced though. It's obviously it's still good to upgrade your stuff, but I've been just fine without it. And there's a new part of the how can I put this? One of the features that they added to this new rebuild revision of the game is every, like when you're doing a major a main quest that's near a new gear tier, they give you a gear box at the end of it filled with gear that should last you up until the next tier. So it's like they tried to minimize the usefulness of gear itself. Like you could still try to farm for rare gear and focus on getting special buffs through, or I should say bonuses through identification and through enchantment. But other than that, like the gear doesn't seem like as big of a deal. At least in my perspective, from what I've seen so far. Yeah, it feels a lot more manageable, but I think I haven't really hit the new wall where it gets extremely grindy. I know I'm getting there though, because when I switch to my archer, which is my highest, at like 277, I am having a pretty rough time. But it should be said that the new build I have for my archer is kind of crappy, which is kind of intentional because I wanted it to be interesting. But if I wanted to go for something that'd be effective, it probably wouldn't be as bad. Get there. I guess I go from here up. Wait, was it? Oh, that's where I am now.
Lightning.
Oh, what are these skills again? Oh, those. Right. Wait, someone else is here? This is even a good farming spot. I was gonna say just a week, but that sounds about right. If I don't play something for like a week or two, I'm completely lost. Well, I mean, to make matters worse, it's only been a few days since I've used this character, and I'm still a little unsure of how I used to play it, but it's been going well. I think I was around here. Stuff around the level. Yeah, I'm barely even scratching them without my other skills on. Maybe we're just getting old. Well, I mean, I'm not saying this is something, like, new to me. It feels like it's always been that way. Oh, right. See if I can kill this guy. Hey, my MMO of choice used to be RO, private servers exclusively. Like, for a very, very long time. Even though I guess that was probably about... how many years ago at this? I think it was around 2006. Which was the last time I really played RO seriously. I don't know. I mean, this game still has its problems, but I think it's fair to acknowledge the steps that they've made towards trying to make it more enjoyable than it used to be. And it is, but it's still at its core the same game. So I feel like... Well, no, I shouldn't say it's the same game at its core. Because it used to be a game about carefully planning things out and, like, focusing on maximizing your power under very rigid circumstances. But now the game is, like, specifically based on class builds. So I mean, I guess at its core it's the same, but in general it's not. I'm not sure how I could word it properly to do the differences justice, but I mean, well, isn't that typically how it goes? Private servers are better than public ones in too many ways to count. Like, a public server may make a change that nobody really asked for, but they thought was for the best. Or it might have some kind of restriction that is ridiculous, but I guess, like I said before, they felt it was for the best. I don't know, I just think it's nice to have more flexibility when playing something like an MMO. Which is partially why I find it difficult to stick with games like Final Fantasy XIV. I mean, as much as people like to bash Final Fantasy XIV 1.0, if you'd like to call it that, one thing it had over 2.0 and beyond I can see what you mean. I played 11 up until I don't know if you call it the first expansion, the second expansion, because the first expansion that we got, I believe they already had in Japan or something like that. Rise of Zilart. It came out alongside the actual release, from what I remember. Yeah. So I don't know if I should call it like the first expansion, since it kind of was bundled with it. Oh, I see. Well, anyway, I don't believe did I? Because I came back and I got all of the expansions when I did, I believe, but when I did come back that one time, I only played for like a month, if even that. Anyway, I heard about how much easier the game got, or at least more approachable, but I never actually experienced it firsthand. But yeah, Final Fantasy XIV on the other hand, probably do some stuff. Final Fantasy XIV 1.0 this is way too, can't even hear me. Final Fantasy XIV 1.0 was good in that it allowed you to have your main class, and as your main class, the skills you used from that class did more damage and cost less blank points to use. But the thing is, any class could use any skills, which led to some people playing healer classes complaining, which is a ridiculous complaint to me. A healer class complaining, oh, this this warrior class is healing for more than I am. Well, chances are they've leveled up a healing class higher than your current healing class, and chances are their healing isn't as potent as yours would be at that level, and chances are the cost of casting it is much higher than it is for yours. So over time you could probably heal more than they could, even though they could heal more in like a single shot. And it was complaints like that that made them continuously change 1.0 and actually make it worse. Because at first, Final Fantasy XIV 1.0 had a stamina system that was like Final Fantasy 13, which they could have developed into something better, but aside from the horrible optimization issues, people just didn't really like. Well, I'm not sure if the gameplay itself was even a huge issue. Because that wasn't really a major complaint I heard from people. The major complaint I heard from people was how laggy the interface was, and the graphical fidelity and intensity of the game, despite it not really looking that great, just had really ridiculous hardware requirements for a really crappy experience. It's hard to say. I am pretty sure the overall population of 14 went down, but like, I think only, as is often the case, only the really dedicated players are still there, so it's probably not as easy to get people to willingly experience content that's just not really worthwhile anymore. But I mean, an easy fix would be to actually make the game fun. Surprise! I mean, okay, let me be fair. 14 is fun. Final Fantasy 14 is fun. If you don't think about it too hard, Final Fantasy 14 is a very fun game. But if you do think about it, it's not... There's no freedom at all in Final Fantasy 14. If you like, I'm pretty sure it's possible to do entire raids blindfolded in Final Fantasy 14. See, well, I won't say exactly, but let's like at least 80% right what you're saying. The problem is they focus so much on the combat, but all the combat experiences are like scripted other than PvP. And the game isn't really deep enough to have an interesting PvP. So it's like, the thing to do is the battle-related content, but everything in the battle-related content is avoid this instant kill mechanic, do your rotations forever, avoid the red spots, and you're good. Well, yeah, I mean, that's true. But like, when you're crafting, well, I shouldn't really say crafting. Crafting is fun compared to combat, but when you're gathering, like, there's at least some sense of adventure in the process. But there's no sense of adventure in anything related to combat. It's basically, you're literally playing a role in a story or in your team, and like, in the strictest sense of the term, you have to do specifically this exact thing, and if you don't do the specific exact thing, you are bad. If you do this specific exact thing, then you're good. And if you do this specific exact thing with even tighter timing, then you're one of the best players in the entire game. Like, I really can't... That kind of life isn't for me. I mean, I got Stormblood and I put on sale for like 50% off or something like that. And I played it to its first ending before the update started. The update started releasing with newer endings. But I think the thing that really made it for me was number one, Deep Dungeons. Because in Deep Dungeon, it doesn't really matter too much what class you are, and it's only a team of 4 people, and you can technically solo it. So it's like the most fun you can have with combat as far as I'm concerned. And that let me enjoy Samurai more, to the point that I enjoyed playing Samurai as is, and found at least creative macros to use. And I did most of that was the first time I died. No. I guess that's the second main story quest I died in. But I didn't like that one. That was weird. And I felt like I wasn't really contributing, even though Samurai is supposedly a really strong, possibly the strongest in terms of just plain damage output, melee class. But like, I felt like I wasn't doing anything, and the fight itself seemed to kind of... This is really loud. This is really loud. How can I put it? The fight itself... I mean, I guess maybe I worded it improperly. The fight felt like whether or not I was doing anything, it was passing me by. And it's difficult to put into words, because I mean, I played PSO2 where everyone's doing a bunch of stuff to a big boss, but it feels completely different than 14. Like, I don't know, I just felt like even though I was doing stuff, if I stopped doing stuff, I felt like no one would have noticed, and we still would have won. As long as I just tried to not fall, or... No, I think falling was the only major part, because the... But I could have sworn there was a big thing that kind of cleaved the platform into parts, but whatever. I didn't hate it. I just didn't, I felt nothing from it. Now, I will say this, Final Fantasy XIV's story is good, but the gameplay itself, like, I feel like you play Final Fantasy XIV for the story and not for the gameplay. Oh, do I get both?
라이팅 인챈트 아이템 인챈트 글로브 힐 아이템으로 커져라 인챈트 커져라 버리자 키크
Okay, I'll kill all you guys, I don't care. Been about an hour since I started this. I think I want to check out what's it called? Risk of Rain 2. Just a little bit, and then probably start playing Romancing Saga 3 until I'm done streaming for the night. Wow, that's interesting. Apparently... Yeah, it was Risk of Rain 2 was announced today at Gearbox's PAX East conference. Like, they announced it, and it was also released today, and they had a special promotional buy one get one free thing. So I typically wouldn't have gotten it on release, but if I get a copy for free, that makes it kind of worthwhile. Let me see if I can even stream this. Even installed, but it's big either. Yeah, that was an interesting change. That's why I'm interested in seeing how it actually plays, because you couldn't possibly capture the same feeling of the first Risk of Rain by putting it in third person. Find out. Oh, updating. It's like stuck at the very end. Oh, there it is. Okay. I'll figure out the controls as I go along, but I should probably move the chat box somewhere. I noticed, Yeah, I know. I don't know. I just thought it would. The chat box would fit there, at least for now. I'll probably move it again later. Welcome back, BM, and I saw that you owned the game. I'm pretty sure I liked the tweet showing that you owned the game. I don't care. If you want to join me, you can. But I would like to at least see how it plays solo. I don't know. I also don't know how long I'm going to be playing it. But, I wouldn't mind playing with you. Huh. Okay. Okay, I was about to say, is this the only class available? And these are, like, and these are in development, but clearly these are the ones in development and all these are unlockable. Yeah. If I'm still playing, then feel free to... I love that unknown button. I wish this was Fortnite. I wish I was young enough to play Fortnite. What's my tactical role? There it is. I'm kind of in that boat too. For some reason, I'm really bad at shooting people in Apex. Don't even get me started on Fortnite. I've barely given Fortnite a chance, even though I gave it a fair one. That is not what I wanted to. Okay, that's a pause. It would be nice if I knew what those unknown buttons were. Okay, that shows me where I want to move. That's how I ping the location. Wait a second, I'm sprinting, I think. Exactly. Sorry, I haven't really been looking at the chat, but that's exactly how I feel. I think Apex is a really good game, but I don't remember the last time I've been that bad at a game. Except for this game, apparently. But, well, okay, the thing is, M6, I think Apex is enjoyable for anyone. I feel, okay, I don't think it's, you know what, I'm not going to talk about fairness or unfairness. I'm going to talk about the perspective I see from the games. I feel like PlayerUnknown's Battleground, since it was the first one, it had a wider age range. Everyone tried to get into Fortnite when it came out, but apparently super young people are really good at it. Because I've heard of people that are like, barely teenagers being extremely good at the game, and their parents putting them into like classes and things like that to learn how to be better at the game so they can make money. And then Apex is like, I don't know if I go so far as to say it's the antithesis of Fortnite, but it really seems like older people play Apex. So I don't know, I think also my character in Apex is what's his name? The tank guy. Even though I typically don't play as tanky classes, I do like classes that can provide like AoE barriers and things like that. And I found that I have played my best as that character. Toblerone or whatever his name is. This needs to be turned down. This is fun. That's more of the reason why I would like playing Gibraltar. I tend to, and it's not like any kind of like it's not like a hipster complex or anything like that. I like playing as characters and classes that are typically seen as crappy and trying to see if I can make them play well. It makes the game more enjoyable as opposed to just choosing characters that are higher tier and seen as easier to play and things like that. It's like children born after 2000. Yeah, I don't really want to think about. I try not to just think about ages at all. Period. I don't have the time for that anyway. Nope, not gonna be doing that. I need to look at the keys, I think. That line had plenty of punch as it is. Wonderful. Well, Circle isn't doing anything, so I guess I can make that. Turning 31 isn't a huge... The thing that really gets me is freaking, what's her name? I only know her by her initials. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez? I'm not sure if that's how you say the middle part. But the fact that in one of her rants, she was talking about turning 30, and I'm like, is this influential person, is this person who's spearheading all of this change literally like years younger than me? I mean, don't get me wrong, I think it's really impressive that someone that young has a platform that powerful, but at the same time, it's like, when I was her, those words, when I was her age, I wasn't doing anything near that influential. If I could even get myself out of bed in the morning. Young people. Whatever, when the robots come, I won't have to worry about anything. Okay, so here's the thing. I saw the trailer, but the only times I saw the trailer, I was in the middle of work. So I never really got a good look. And to be perfectly honest, I am a little annoyed and kind of disillusioned because the only thing I cared about seeing in the full complete trailer was the release date at the end, which they easily could have put, because I mean, if you want to just base it on when they typically release Borderlands games, it's going to come out fall this year. And I've seen reports saying that it's coming out within their 2019 fiscal year, which ends April 2020. I think the only reason they didn't mention the release date is because they're still working on it and they aren't sure they're going to release it by fall, but they probably will, and closer to the date that they'll probably say it. But it really annoyed me. It really annoyed me that they did all this hyping up and they showed cool stuff, but they didn't really tell you anything. Even though they've been kind of teasing it over the course of some years now, if you exclude the silence that they've had since pre-sequel. So, I mean, it would have been so easy to just say fall 2019, and if they need to delay it, then to delay it. No one would get mad if they did that. But if you put, like, if you give no time frame whatsoever, then, like, what? You have to wait until, like, it could be 2 years from now, 3 years from now. We have no idea. So just saying the game is a thing isn't, like, good after all the hyping they did right before PAX. Wrong button. Also, why am I playing this with a keyboard still? I'm not without a keyboard. Like, and it'd be different if they just said, if they just made it seem like a small teaser thing, but they really hyped it up. They hyped it up hardcore for the days leading up to PAX, that they were going to do a thing. Like, first there was the teaser image, and then there was Then there was the trailer that they released, and then they did the super trailer, and it's like, okay, but I still don't know when the game is coming out. And that's the important thing. Because, like, they could still say the game won't come out for like 5 years, which would make me, I don't know, I'd probably stop caring at that point. But, I mean, it got people hyped, but a release date would have given people something to look forward to, which is all I really wanted. I am gonna be real, I've never been super big on Resident Evil, not because I didn't like it, but for a very large portion of my gaming life up until probably after GameCube, I didn't really buy or play too much. I mean, I played some stuff, I guess, but it was stuff I borrowed. Oh, hey, Beg. Yeah, I decided to just look into what Restream had to offer, and with this, I don't have to redirect people from my YouTube stream over to here. My YouTube and Twitch stream chats are all in one thing, and everybody can talk to everybody else. It's not as aesthetic as a Nico chat style would be, but It's fine. Gaming with controller is, it is clunky, but that's how shooting with the controller typically is. So, no major change there. I should. I think it's right over there. That was a pretty hilarious pose. That was my second run, I think. Now I'm gonna stick with, I mean, I don't want to stick with, well, I'll see, I'll stick with controller for now. I want to use my keyboard, but I know it's just gonna be a lot of clacking into the mic. Nobody wants to hear. I played an okay amount of it. I eventually found, I forget what I did, but I started finding a way to cheese it, and I almost won the whole thing, or maybe I did, or I lost near the very end or something. I don't remember. I feel like I had a complete run or two once I found a way to cheese it. Interesting. Maybe... what does that mean? My controller started vibrating for some reason, and I don't know why it did. I've been okay. I'm not gonna lie, I've been okay. But I mean, I don't know. Unless you're living your ideal life as far as you can perceive it, it's difficult to say that you're honestly more than okay. You can say you're well, because that in itself can mean a number of things, but I can honestly say that I have been okay. Well, I mean... well, it's... I don't know. I could say it's just semantics, but I think it's a bit more than that. I guess it's more about your own personal take on life that would determine whether I'm just... you know what? Shut up, me. I've been well, yes, thank you. How have you been? Let's try and find the portal. Oh, is that it over there? No, that's my gun, I think. Next time I die, I should tell a friend to watch this. Because, I mean, I got my free copy. And I offered her one. And she said no, but there are a few reasons why that could have been the case. I think it would be good if she saw how it played before she decided whether or not it's something she definitely doesn't want a free copy of. I wonder if I'm going in circle. I feel like I'm going in circle. Okay. I'm gonna try and... am I going to be doing some multiplayer? Potentially. My friend, Blastoise Master, who I believe is still in the chat, said that when he was done eating dinner, if I was interested, he would join me. And I said I don't know. Well, I started off by saying I don't know how long I'm going to be playing, because I wasn't intending on playing this for too long, but that might change because I'm actually enjoying this. Hey, nourishment is nourishment. And I'm fairly certain it's better for you than just straight up fast food. Go. Yeah, sure, whatever. I mean, that's a pretty real feeling. Oh, wait, what the heck is... Oh! Hello. I've been in this super big breaded, fish mood lately. Like, for the past maybe 2 weeks. To the point that I bought some fish sticks, and I felt very satisfied. Well, no, I didn't feel very satisfied, actually. Because I still wanted some more fish-related stuff afterwards. I actually am, jokes aside, I guess it's a sneak peek stream. One of the things I do plan on doing is having a second camera focused on the bread being made. I might talk about the ingredients I used beforehand, and I'd be streaming over the course of the bread being prepared. And when the bread is done, I show it, I try it, and that'd probably be the end of the stream. Because the nice thing about the bread maker is, it takes about 2.5 hours, which is a really nice stream chunk. Oh, I like that. I like explosive shots. Ever since Borderlands 1, with that explosive round sniper rifle, I've always liked explosive bullets. I should be reading more of the chat, actually. What kind of bread? I've been trying out various types of bread. So I wouldn't be able to say. I'm interested in trying to make a sourdough, partially because Mandy's always talking about it, but mostly because it seems involved to make. Like, it takes days of days, I believe, of preparation, like a couple days. So, on the other hand, it's a little intimidating, because I don't know if I'll mess something up, but I'm pretty sure I have an idea of, the general bread making process. I thought I did before, but I didn't. Because I was under the impression that the sugar in bread was just for flavoring purposes. But I quickly found out that the sugar in bread, the only purpose for it is to feed the yeast itself. So as long as you have some kind of fructose or glucose for feeding the yeast, then you don't necessarily need to use sugar. Sugar is just the easiest thing to come by. That being said, I've been doing, well, I shouldn't say I've been doing, because it was only one long day of research. But, ow. I researched, some ingredients I want to use for making a really, really good bread. Like, there's a specific ultimate bread I have in mind that I want to make. One that is filling. Consuming it, or at least consuming a slice of it, gives you a decent amount of your daily vitamins requirement. And it also tastes good. Like the texture, flavor, nutrition, fillingness. I want to cover all of those bases. And I have an idea of how to do it, but who knows? Yeah, for something like sourdough, I would use what it says, but oh, here's the teleporter thing. But when it comes to like making the bread itself, I found a recipe that completely ignores what the manual says to do. And I've been using it ever since, because my bread's been coming out really, really nice. Ever since I ignored the bread maker. The bread maker's manual. I don't even see the Stone Titan, is that him? Oh, there he is. My healing drone is really putting in that overtime. It tried so hard. Ugh. I'm not talking about the starter. I'm just talking about a basic, just unless you mean just preparing the dough. Wow, you're a pretty wild guy if you eat the bottom. I couldn't help it. Nice line. So far, though, my favorite bread has probably been the garlic bread that I made. It's also the last bread I made, but I mean, it was nice, but I think. But if I could do it again differently, I probably would. I mean, I can. I still have all the ingredients. But I don't know if I want to put all those ingredients into making one thing of bread again. Really good stuff, though. Admittedly, there were very tiny parts of it that had too much garlic, but those were few and far between. I'll enjoy it right the heck now. Open up link.
That's good for lunch.
Did you guys eat the butt? There's the little part. There's the little part near the end where you stuff the bird, and it's all fat.
Yeah.
And it's just a little flat. I think it's where like the feathers might be attached to. Do you guys eat that part?
Well, I'll eat it like groceries. I'll eat the butt like groceries.
What does that mean? Does that mean like all day?
All day.
Okay.
That was good. Interesting. So, I guess it's still new to the point that it... No, I'm pretty sure it records what you got and lets it show up later. Oh, well that should be easy enough to do. I guess I'll try and shoot for whatever this is. Ugh. Let me try some KBM this time. That seems pretty into it. Whoops, I tried to reload. Get out of here, probably, with that mess. I'm never good. Oh, I see. That's interesting. Oh no, it's still a toggle. Never mind. I really want to play Sekiro, but I've been spending too much money lately, so I felt like I should wait a little bit before I get it. I've never played a Souls game either, but people say it's not really like a Souls game anyway. I still want to play Bloodborne, but it still isn't on PC, so... Hey, everything else is coming out on PC. PC is like the new Switch. It's getting everything. Oh, what do you mean? M6? It's tab. Oh. Oh, yeah, I mean, like I said, I haven't played any of the Souls games, but I did hear a lot of bad things. Alright, take care, Bag. Thanks for stopping by. Rest well. And I think I saw you playing Risk of Rain 2, so if you're up for playing it sometime, feel free to, if I'm available, feel free to invite. I'm available. Oh yeah, that's definitely a nice bonus for PC games. And often is the case. Speaking of PC, well, not really remasters, I spent a lot of time unlocking all the classes in Disgaea 5 like last week or so. I'm looking forward to streaming. Well, it was originally going to be the thing I streamed when I streamed again, but that idea kind of fell apart, but that's fine. It didn't take that long, actually. The PC version includes all of the DLC, which is very nice, because I got it for like 20 bucks. You got laned. But yeah, it was a very nice buy. Yeah, I saw that. I don't even know what the online functionality was, so I have no idea what I missed out on, but I'm fine. I'm not a picky person. I just wanted to play the base game, to be honest. I see. That's interesting. What? I didn't want that. Well, to be honest, it's not too bad because teleport, is that it over there? But yeah, since they drop healing items, I guess it's not too bad. Double damage but half health. Wow, all of those missed. But yeah, unlocking all the classes took a long time before I started using subclasses. And also, I basically used item world grinding, and it really didn't take that long once I found the way to exploit it. I've got some really nice gear from reaching levels of item world, and I stacked them all on one character. And I had one character kill everything. Oh, that's interesting. I had no idea about that. I think the biggest, I guess I'd say issue with quotes I have with the game so far is, compared to the 2D of the first Risk of Rain, it feels easier to get disoriented, because if this were the 2D version, well, the 2D game, I'd easily be able to tell and remember where the teleporter was and find my way back to it and away from it if I needed to. But with this, it's like I'm not entirely sure where I'm going. Maybe down there. It is fun though. And if I can negate damage by rolling, let's find out. Yep. Oh, hello. Excuse me. while I try not to die. I'm pretty sure the yellow is my drone. I'm exactly back where I started. Like, this is literally where I started. Yeah, I mean, but whatever, it's Risk of Rain, so I kind of expect to get mouthed by a lot of enemies anyway. And to be fair, it doesn't feel as overwhelming as it did in the 2D version. Granted, it was easier to aim in that version too. I guess another negative is going on what you just said about getting away from enemies. Not having tiered levels also does make it difficult for trying to escape enemies. Yeah, that's true. I can't really do that too easily, or at least doesn't feel that way in this. I think the teleporter itself should be easier to find. Because I may have passed the teleporter because it's just a brown thing that's kind of sticking out of the ground. And there are several brown things kind of sticking out of the ground. It worked in 2D very well, but in this, I don't know. Please don't die, please don't die, please don't. Like, I know part of the thing is finding it, but I think it should have like some kind of, at least a faint beacon of light to help direct you to where it is. It's EA? Because I mean, I'm pretty, like, Gearbox at least partially published this. Because that I found out about it from the Gearbox conference. Oh, early access. As if they changed something like that for early freaking access. Well, I guess it's fair to, actually with that in mind, it's fair to not really complain too much about things. Because for an early access, no, I shouldn't say that. I've played a lot of decent early access games. I remember when Starbound was in early access forever. It pointed to the teleporter after I found it. Oh, hello. After I found it, I think. Oh, in the first game. I don't remember. But I also know it wasn't nearly this difficult. Well, I'm not gonna make it to the teleporter, clearly. Oh, that makes sense. I guess I'll focus on trying to find the... to be honest, there's been a pretty hefty stream delay for a while. I just haven't been saying anything. I might look at my settings and see if there's something I can change to fix that. But other than that, not really anything I can do. That comes to mind anyway. Oh, am I dropping frames, you mean? Because if I'm dropping frames, that's a completely different story, and that's something I'd try to fix immediately. If it's just delay, then that can't be helpful. They are making a Romancing Saga 3 remake? Well, yes, actually speaking of that, I should probably switch to that. Even though I'm having a pretty decent time. I wasn't even planning on playing this long. Yes, because I know you can play as a nobleman. Oh yeah. That is the one, I believe. And I only know because I looked into the characters half a week ago. What freaking teleporter? Oh, give me great strength. I started Romancing Saga 3 once, and oh, I leveled up again. Does it stack? I don't think it stacks. Wow, that's an interesting policy. Switch has been killing it in recent, maybe couple years. Well, if you're cheap, you can get the handheld model that's coming out. That's going to be considerably cheaper than the standard Switch. You can't connect it to your TV, but if you don't care too much about playing the Switch in the first place, it's not really a major loss. Whoa. I need to stop trying to reload with R, because R does not reload. Oh, there it is. I mean, I suppose I could at least activate it now. Okay, sure. Where is that? Okay, I really would like to be closer to what I'm trying to kill. Oh, there you are. Come on. I did not want to do that, but here I am. I rolled too soon. Yeah, I'm not gonna make it easily. I didn't have enough stuff. But yeah, I mean, as it is now, I think it's a pretty fun game. I'd recommend it if people cared about my recommendations. Am I at 1048p? I don't know. Long story short, I wanted to what's my what's up there? I wanted to stream this, like, I couldn't have my chat showing up on stream unless I used what is this called? OBS whatever this other newer version of OBS is called, OBS Studio or something like that. Because I typically use the original OBS version, but to show my chat on stream I had to use this newer one, and I just went in without changing any settings. So it's based on whatever settings I was using years ago when I first tried to use this particular version of OBS. But I've always had weird streaming resolutions. That's no major change. With the graphics card and setup I have now, I could probably make it a bit more normal, but I don't really care too much about that right now. Yeah, okay, get out of here. Alright, let's try and be good. Oh, okay. It's finally showing that I dropped some frames. I don't know why, whoops. But I could close some stuff, I suppose. Ugh. Your real name is Robert. Why wouldn't I remember that? I mean, I remember everybody. If I learned someone's actual name, I remember it. But I call people by very specific nicknames when I get the chance to. I like giving people a unique place in my heart. Volvo won't let you withdraw. Challenge accepted. A weird idea. Okay, I guess that's fair. If it's already auto-driving. Wait, I don't know. No, that's fair. That's fair. The technology isn't there yet. I've never played chess in my entire life once. I've played a tiny bit of shogi, but I've never actually played chess. I don't know, it just seems kind of daunting, I guess. I don't know. I don't think I've ever called you anything but BM. Or some variation of BM. like Blastoise or Beam. I don't think I ever knew your name, Pry, so I couldn't call you by name. I saw Boney's name once because he posted his completion certificate when he finished whatever program he was doing back when, but I don't remember it. Well, I think Shogi has more depth because of the transformative nature of the pieces, but I mean, when I say I played Shogi, I don't mean I super duper played it. I mean I played it in like in a mobile app game against a computer and lost a few times. But I really found enjoyment in doing Shogi puzzles. I don't think I know it, right? I may have seen it before, but right, placing captured pieces. Oh, I mean, it isn't just more complex to you. I don't remember the last time you called Boney Steve, Pry. It's been a very long time since the usual suspects were hanging out in like Sumi chat or something. Times have changed. But yeah, M6, Shogi is definitely more complex, I guess. I only checked it out because it seemed interesting. I could probably learn chess if I took the time to, but I don't know if I want to. I might just put it on easy just to unlock this other character. This one. Oh, I'm holding my controller. I'm playing with controller then. Who's that? Or that? Hurt me more. Wait, what? Why are you here so soon? I just started it. Get out of here. Now I definitely have stuff I can use to... Interesting. Oh, there's the teleport. Nice. Buried under a cylinder and hidden behind some rocks. Perfect. I guess it crushed me? Probably. If I knew I could make decent progress in the next 10 minutes, I'd keep going, but I usually wake up at 3 of my own still, and it's almost 11, and there's still some other stuff I think I might want tonight, but I'll probably be streaming tomorrow too, except probably not Tree of Savior, probably this, but definitely Romancing Saga 3 or Disgaea 5. Since it's Friday, I wouldn't be surprised if it was Disgaea 5, because I really want to progress in that, but I don't want to go any further in the story unless it's on stream, which is why I spent so much time in Item World. But since I have all the classes unlocked and some overleveled characters, there's nothing really holding me back. So wow, it's been about 2 hours and 45 minutes. If I was baking a bread, it would have been done about now. That's a good way of putting it, sure. speaking of which, I should be considering bringing back PSO2 Phantasy Star Fridays, because I need to make sure I have... No, I'm good. I'm good. I have like 3 max level classes, so I think I'm ready for the new Phantom class. Alright. Thanks for hanging out, you got... How long does the bread take to rise? The actual rising takes about 1.5. That's a complicated question, actually. Maybe like about an hour? Because it needs twice, which doesn't take too long. But after it rises a bit, it gets pounded back down, and then it rises again. And that could have its own multiple phases depending on the type of bread. So I guess if you wanted to just include the we'll take out the kneading and take the kneading. I'd say about an hour. Oh, you can eat all the breads in a... Okay, let me get out of here. See you guys around.